Seriously Skinny, and I'm here with my post-op week 71 update. My high weight was 369.9. My surgery weight was 329.6, and I had my surgery on 9/16 of 2015. My current weight is 174.6. That means I am up 1 pound from last week, and I am 6.1 pounds away from my mini goal of 168.5, and I am down a total of 195.3. As far as my calories for the week, my total calories for the week average was 1324, and that was with a high of 1696 and a low of 990. My net calories for the week was 291 on average, and that was with a high of 1688 and a low of a negative 501. On that 1688 day, I did not exercise, so that's why that was so high on the net. As far as protein is concerned, my protein was on average 102 grams per day, and that is down about 11 grams per day on average from last week. And my carbs are up about 6 grams from last week, and they were on average 98 grams per day. And um, I try to stay below 100 grams, and particularly on the days that I exercise, I try to at least get 100 grams of carbs or so, because I'm usually riding my bike, or I am running, or I may do both, or I may do two bike riding sessions in a day, or what have you. So, anyway, as far as exercise is concerned, I exercise 6 days out of the week. I took a break on yesterday, and in fact, I need to get on the bike today. But I'm thinking about taking another break on today at the top of my new week. So, as far as food is concerned, I finally tasted the Lenny and Larry's protein cookies. I actually only tasted one kind, and I had a half. I split it with my son. I asked him to go pick out one that I could split with him, and he chose the birthday cake one. And needless to say, it did not look like the package, of course. You couldn't even really see the sprinkles in it, but excuse me for the shaking camera. But anyway, you couldn't see the little sprinkle. You could see some sprinkles in it, but not like it was on top of the package. And it tasted okay. Like I said, that was the first one that I tasted, and I don't know what is going to be my favorite. I am going to include some of those in as a part of the giveaway. But I went to Sprouts, and Sprouts Farmers Market, I think is what it's called. I think it's called Farmers Market. It had the protein cookies in last week's ad, five for $5, and it comes one in a package. I think the ones at Walmart come two in a package. If I'm not, I may be incorrect on that, but I thought they came two to a package. But these came one to a package, and they were five for $5. That was my first time going to Sprouts, and the lady did explain to me that they do have an overlap day, which I think is today. It's on Wednesdays or Thursdays, and it may be the full week. I'm not sure, but where the ads from last week and the ads from this week all count together, so you get all those sale prices. Now, one of the things that they have at Sprouts are these little bins with all types of all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's kind of a self-serve bin. You weigh out what you want, and it has all kinds of candy. It has all kinds of nuts. It has all kinds of dried fruits, flowers, not flowers like smelling flowers like that they grow in a garden, but flour like baking flour, wheat, cornmeal, just all kinds of stuff. Chia seeds, flax seeds. They have all kinds of stuff. Well, they allow you to sample the products as well. And so I ended up sampling several pieces of their candy. And I had like half of a Laffy Taffy, or not Laffy Taffy, half of a saltwater taffy. I shared one peanut cluster with my son. The man actually gave me two, and I was thinking I'm not going to be able to eat it, so I slipped the other one in my purse. And then I split one with my son, and then we ended up having lemon cream almonds, and I had this cocoa burnt caramel coated almond. Oh, it was gross. And then I ended up having what was called chocolate covered honeycomb. And I actually thought it was a honeycomb from like a beehive. And I kept saying, "This is an actual honeycomb." And there, the guy was like, "Yeah, it's a honeycomb. It's honeycomb, but it's not honeycomb." I went and looked it up on the internet because it was delicious. I really liked that one, and that one it was the largest piece. And when I logged it into my Fitness Pal, so if any of you are looking at my Fitness Pal and you wondering, "Hey, what is this girl doing? What happened today?" That was why, because I went to Sprouts. And then on yesterday too, I went a little wild tasting everything at home, the little things that I bought. So anyway, I ended up um, getting sick. I immediately, after tasting all of that sugar, I could tell my stomach was not feeling well at all. And it wasn't that I was getting like I needed to throw up or anything like that, but I could just tell like my sugar levels were off. And so by the time I got home, I just had to lay down. I laid down, I went to sleep, and when I tell you I sweated like nobody's business. I woke up, my pillow was wet, my bed was wet. I could even tell like I had put my hand I sleep sometimes on my side with my hand between my legs, between my knees, because sometimes the knees rub together and it hurts. And so even my legs were just sweating. I was just like, ugh. So yeah, that sugar got me. And then even yesterday when I ate a little bit of the items, that it got me then too. So that is something that is different that I hadn't really experienced, but I don't think, eaten that much sugar in one time in a while either. So be on the lookout for that if you have not already experienced it. That really makes me a little ill. Really increases my sugar. So anyway, I ended up getting from Sprouts those cookies. I ended up getting some dark chocolate covered blueberries and cherries. I got three of those little clusters. And what else did I get? Oh, and two pieces of the chocolate covered honeycomb. And um, they're all delicious. Oh, and the 12 flavored gummy bears, which this week the 12 flavored gummy bears are, and they're low fat, maybe no fat. They are 99 cents a pound. Last week they were 2.39 a pound. So they're 99 cents a pound this week. Anyway, all of that stuff was good at Sprouts, all of it. And everything is so fresh and so nice. It was really good. So, anyway, as far as non scale victories, I don't think I really have one, but I was thinking the other day, I was walking up to the school and looking at my reflection in the mirror and thinking, oh my gosh, look at my reflection. That reflection is awesome. So, which really took me to one of my challenges, and that is, should I rethink my final goal? I have about 19 to 20 pounds more to go to reach my final goal. And I just don't know if, I don't know. I'm just kind of going back and forth of whether or not my body it should stay where it is, or if I should keep going. But I will be calling the nutritionist today to set up an appointment, and I won't get to go until March because my insurance has a gap in it for the month of February, so I won't have it again until March, and will then be able to go to the nutritionist. So I'm going to call her and see if I can get the first appointment in March to come and get my body fat percentage checked. So hopefully, my goal is to reach 168.5 by Valentine's Day, and I've been working on that for the last 3 months. I usually, right now, I set a goal out of 3 months for about 15 pounds or so, 2 to 3 months to lose about 15 pounds, just because now I am on the downward spiral of my weight loss. So I I don't I'm losing smaller amounts of weight. So I don't think it's necessarily slow, because 1 pound a week is still good for me. And um, even half a pound is still good for me, especially at the point where I am now. So I don't call it a slow, I don't call it slow losing. It's just, that's just the way my body is now. So, anyway, as far as the challenges, that's one, just kind of rethinking my goal. And then also, one of the other things that popped in my mind is, when does this pursuit for health and a little vanity, now it's probably a little vanity, because I feel like I am as healthy as I've been in years and years and years. When does that pursuit for health turn into an obsession? And is that okay for it to be a slightly obsessive thing? That's one of the reasons why yesterday, even, I ended up taking a break from exercising, because I felt like I was exhausted. I've been exhausted, really, really tired, and I haven't felt like I've gotten enough sleep. So I just took a break. I slept yesterday afternoon. I slept in this morning. I did not go for my morning run, and but I will probably ride my bike later on this evening, just because I don't want to totally get out of the habit of getting the exercise in, because we definitely need the exercise. I don't think that that's obsession, but sometimes I look at my calories and I think, oh, well, I need to burn this many more calories so that I could have a net of this amount, so that I can make sure that I'm leveling out. And I want to make sure that that's a healthy, that I'm looking at this in a healthy way, as far as mentally, not so much with my body, but mentally looking at it in a healthy way, so that I'm not getting overly uh, concerned about it. So, anyway, I did also have a couple of questions. One question was in a message for me, a private message, and it asked me, how could I possibly be gaining weight when I am eating so little? And this was actually 4 months ago that this question was asked, but I just saw the message. So anyway, I did answer it through the messaging or what have you. But what I wanted to say is, yes, it is still possible to gain weight even when you're eating so little. So typically, our bodies, they say we need 1,200 calories just for our basic metabolic functions: breathing in and out, our heart beating, our blood running through our veins, our kidneys function, everything, that just being able to get up and walk, being able to, look, see, think, all of that, that it's typically about 1,200 calories that helps maintain that. Well, some of us don't may not have all of those functions. Some of us may not use all of those functions. Some of us may have a lower metabolic rate or a higher metabolic rate. And so we may not need 1,200 calories. So if we're eating 1,200 calories, or if we're eating 900 calories, but our body only needs 750, and we're not doing any type of exercise or doing anything extra, then yes, there is a possibility for weight gain. If we consume too much salt, there's a possibility for weight gain, because our body starts to retain water to try and flush those things out. And there's just so many different reasons why there could be a weight gain even when we're eating so little. And our body, sometimes, even if we're not utilizing the carbs or the glucose that is in our systems, that could be something that our body decides to store as fat. So there's just so many different reasons why we could gain weight even when we're eating so little. And at this point in time, y'all see how much I'm eating. I eat pretty regular. I get hungry. I eat a lot of things that, like cheese, almonds, things that are kind of high fat, high calorie. So sometimes I may not eat a lot of it, but it's still a lot of calories. I think I'm not gonna really count Christmas time, but any given day of the week, you know, from week to week, there are days where I reach 17 to 1800 calories easily, easily. So anyway, that was one question that I had, and I hope I was able to answer that question so that you understood it. And then another question, Mia VSG asked me, how did I start running? And so I wanted to answer that on the video because there are several different things that I did to start running. When I initially started running years ago, my I was on the treadmill, and literally I started with 1 day a week going to the gym, and I would walk 30 minutes, literally 30 minutes. I would have a 5 minute warm up, 20 minute. Oh, it's 12 o'clock on Wednesday. You hear the sirens? Hope it's not going to be too bad on the video. But anyway, I would do 20-minute walk and then a 5 minute cool down for 30 minutes, period. And then I would get off that treadmill and I would go home because I did not want to burn myself out, and I really wanted to make sure that I was setting a goal that I could definitely reach and attain. So, a smart goal, in fact. So, anyway, I did that and I worked my way up to doing that 3 times a week. Well, my friend that would come with me, she was a runner and she would run during that time. So, I asked her one day, how do I start running? And she told me whatever rate I was walking at, just to start jogging at that rate and then to slowly increase it. And so what I did was I started jogging at the rate I was on. I think I was at a 3.5, probably no incline at all on a treadmill. And I just started kind of jogging slowly. And I did that probably for about, I could last about 5 to 10 minutes like that because I had already been walking and the speed wasn't any greater. So I lasted about 5 or 10 minutes. So after I did that, I started increasing the speed a little bit, doing the same amount of time, holding myself accountable for the same amount of time, but increasing my speed a little bit. And so if I started at 3.5, I would go to 3.7 and I would do 10 minutes. When I got to about 4.0 jogging for 10 minutes, I would walk I would walk the rest of the minutes, like 9 minutes, and then at the very end of that 20 minute of the 30 minutes, I hope this makes sense. I would run again or jog again, and then I would do my 5 minute walk cool down. So I started doing that, and every time at the end of the 20-minute segment, I would add a minute, add a minute, add a minute. So I was running 10 minutes, then walking 7 minutes and running 3 minutes, then running 10 minutes, walking 5 minutes, and running 5 minutes. Then until I was running 10 minutes, walking a minute, running 9 minutes, and then running the whole 20 minutes. And so I did that every week. I would add a minute to the end until I was running 20 minutes straight, and then finally 30 minutes straight. So that's how I initially started. Now, when I started this time around, I was walking at a park, and 4 times around was 3 miles. So, what I started doing was I would run one time, I would walk one time around, and then run one time around, and then walk the other two until I was running, walking one, running two, walking one, and then walking one, running three, and then running all four. And so you can do that in increments of like, you could walk one and then run half of one and then walk the rest. But I tried to do the couch to 5K program and I started with that, but I didn't like the intervals, so many intervals of stopping and walking and running and then stopping and walking and then running. I didn't like all of those intervals, and it was best for me to just do it straight and get it over with and done with, and then just build onto that. So I hope that was probably clear as mud, I know. But if you have any questions or need any clarity on that, I would be more than happy to clarify or make sure that I'm giving you a better explanation of it. It's kind of hard. I should write it out, and I actually wrote it out on Instagram at one time because I had somebody ask me on there as well. So, anyway, I am going to get off of here. And in closing, I was just thinking, make sure that when I was with, I used to work for a program called Knowledge is Power program. It's called KIP School, and I was a founding teacher there, and I was also an administrator. And we had what we call the 3Ds, which is desire, discipline, and dedication. And so I was thinking about that the other day, even not so much in what I'm doing now as far as, getting rid of the weight and getting healthy and building onto my exercise routine and that, but also as well as my work ethic as far as staying focused for school and studying and making sure that I'm getting things done. I was just thinking to myself, man, those 3Ds say it all: desire, discipline, and dedication. So just remember that as you are focusing on your weight loss journey, as you're focusing on changing, different things in your life, just remember that desire, discipline, and dedication is definitely what it takes, and it's what it'll take to get you there, and it's what it'll take to keep you there, even when you're doing maintenance. So anyway, I love y'all. Peace out, babies. Mwah.